children. How do you all? How are you doing? Okay, we begin this class. I'll ask something to you. We all are Indians, is it? We are living in India, and India is known for its unity in diversity. What is diversity? What makes India a diverse land? We all know that in India we are having different culture, people with different language groups adopt different culture and follow different religion. When we talk about different religion, what are the different religions followed by people of India? Will you say, can you say some religions found in India? Yes, we have Hindus, Muslims, Buddhists, Jainists, Christians and different other religions, is it? And today we are going to learn about the rise of Christianity in India. What we are going to learn about? The rise of Christianity in India. How this religion came to India and what makes people to follow this religion. Who is the founder of this religion? That all things we are going to learn today. Before getting into this topic, what you know about Christianity? If you are a Christian, we know that Jesus is the founder of the Christianity. And who is this Jesus? Some of you know very little about Jesus, is it? Jesus was born to Mary and Joseph, and he, at the age of 30, he took baptism, and after baptism, he submitted or dedicated himself for doing his mission as he was sent by his Father, the God, is it? Okay, we learned something about when this religion, Christianity, came to India, when it arose in India. Before learning that one, we should know about something important about the history of Christianity. During this medieval period, okay, the Christianity came to India during medieval period. Now, what is this medieval period? The history was arranged into a good chronological order. What is chronology? Chronology means system of arranging historical events according to its time period. Okay. So, this medieval period, historians arranged the history into period wise, is it? So, it was arranged in a periodical manner. We have to understand there are three important periods in which the history was arranged properly. Okay, what are the three periods? The first one is ancient period or ancient history. Ancient period or ancient history. Medieval period talks about the middle history. And the later period or modern period. This is modern period talks about the present history. When we see these periods, the history gives lot of information accurately for us because it is arranged in a chronological manner. Today we are going to learn about this medieval period. Medieval means middle. What is medieval? The word medieval means? The word medieval means middle. Why it is called as middle? because the medieval period lies between the ancient period and the modern period. That's why we call this history as middle period history or medieval history. Okay, now what is this medieval period? We should know about the time period of medieval period, is it? The time period of medieval period is from 8th century to 18th century. When we see this medieval period, the medieval period is again divided into two parts. One is later medieval period. The other one is early medieval period first. Early medieval period and then later medieval period. And early medieval period, the time for the early medieval period is from 8th century to 13th century, and the later medieval period is from 13th century to 18th century. Okay, now talking about this later medieval period, again it is divided into two. The first one is Sultanate period. Sultanate phase we will say. Other one is Mughal phase. Okay, this later medieval period is from 13th century to 18th century. Again the later period is divided into two phases. One is Sultanate phase, another one is Mughal phase. Now the period of Sultanate phase is from 1200 CE to 1526 CE, and the Mughal phase is from 1526 CE to 18th century. This is the period of medieval period. Children, are you clear? Okay, once again I will say medieval period begins from the period of 18th century to 18th century. Okay, now this medieval period is divided into two parts. One is early medieval period and later medieval period. Early medieval period from 8th century to 13th century, and later medieval period is from 13th century to 18th century. Again this later medieval period is divided into two phases. One is Sultanate phase from 1200 CE to 1526 CE. Mughal phase is from 1026 CE to 18 CE. Now come to this period. This medieval period is not same in all over the world. The medieval period differs from country to country based on the events that occurred or took place in different region of the world. In Europe, the medieval period begins from 600 CE to 1500 CE. In Europe, what's the period of medieval period? It is from 600 CE to 1200 CE. So this is the period of middle period in Europe. Yes. Now we will see this transition. We said early medieval period, middle medieval period and later period. Okay. Middle period, it did not come suddenly. It took lot of time to reach from the early period to middle period. So the transition is not occurred at the moment. It went through long process to come into the medieval period. Now, before learning that one, we are learning about history of Christianity or rise of Christianity, is it? How Christianity came to India. I am talking about 1st century CE. Talking about 1st century, the Romans attacked Palestine. They attacked Palestine, the Jewish homeland called Palestine. Okay, Romans attacked the Jewish homeland called Palestine. So, during 1st century CE, Romans attacked Palestine. And who was the emperor of Palestine in those days? King Herod was the king of Palestine. Now, after attacking the Romans, they did not take Herod as their slave, or they did not do anything to him, but they appointed Herod as the king of Palestine. Okay. Now, Herod was the puppet king under the hands of Romans. So, what he did not give good rule to the people of Palestine or people of Jews in those days. So, Jewish people, they struggled, suffered under the hands of King Herod. He was not took care of, he did not take care of people well in Palestine. Now, people of Palestine or the Jewish people, they well known to the Old Testament scripture. They learn their scripture literally. Okay. So, according to this belief, religious belief, they believe that Messiah will come and he will deliver the people of Jews from under the hands of the Romans, the enemies. They believed and waited for the Messiah or the Christ. What is Messiah means? The word Messiah means deliverer. What's the word Messiah means? Messiah means the deliverer. Christ the deliverer. Okay. So, they believed Messiah, the Christ. They waited for a long time for the deliverance. Now, what happens at that time? They believed Old Testament. Now, when we see during 4th century, Herod died. Herod died during 4th CE. Now, after the death of King Herod, the puppet king of Jewish people, from 6th to 4th century, the period of 6th to 4th century, during this period, in a tiny village of Nazareth, in Bethlehem, Jesus was born. Where did Jesus born? Jesus was born in Bethlehem, in Nazareth, at Bethlehem during 6th to 4th century. And when we see Jesus, Jesus believed to be the Son of God. Jesus was believed to be the Son of God. He was sent. We know that who was the father and or the parents of Jesus? Mary and Joseph. Jesus was born to Mary and Joseph in a spiritual manner without any physical contact. Now, who is this Joseph? Joseph, we all know that Jesus' father or Joseph was a carpenter. Now, we'll see Jesus. Jesus' life, we all know that, is it? He was born in a clan of David. He was born in a clan of David from Jewish family. Now, who is this David? David was a king who liberated people from the hands of his enemies. Who was David? David was a king. He liberated people of Israel. He liberated people of Israel from the hands of their enemies. And he ruled the people more than 1,000 years. Okay, he liberated the people, or his history talks about it took over the period of 1,000 years. Now, when we see Jesus' life, so we learned that he was born in a clan of David in a Jewish family, is it? Now, what is the importance of Jesus? As we know, he was born in Nazareth. Jesus was born in Nazareth, in Bethlehem. Northern part of Nazareth. He was born in Bethlehem. Now, you see, he learned in Nazareth. He learned the Jewish scripture thoroughly, accurately. He learned the Jewish scripture. So, he was well known to the Jewish scripture. And when we see his life, he took baptism. Jesus took baptism at the age of 30. At the age of 30, he is taking baptism. During his time of baptism, he got a divine revelation. What he got? Divine revelation. So he had convinced that he had to fulfill or accomplish his mission as he was a son of God. What is his mission? To save the sinners. He came to the world to save the sinners. But what is the belief of the Jewish people? Messiah will come, Messiah the Christ will come and deliver them from the bondage of their enemies. Is it? Now, according to his divine revelation, now Jesus wanted to follow his mission. Before doing his mission, what he did, his main aim is to free the people from the sin. What is the main aim of Jesus? He wanted to relieve or deliver the people from the bondage of sin. So what he did, after his baptism, he started to preach, teach and heal the sick around the land of Galilee. Okay, what he did after the baptism? He started to he started to do his mission by preaching, teaching and healing the sick. And to say important, he started his mission at the age of 30. When he started his mission at the age of 30. What is his mission? To preach, teach and to heal the sick. So what Jesus did, he had elected 12 disciples. He has selected 12 disciples. How many disciples were there to Jesus? 12 disciples. So with the help of his disciples, he started his mission and accomplished his task in preaching, teaching and healing the sick. So after that, what happened? Before that we will know about the main teaching of Jesus. What we are going to learn about? The main teaching of Jesus. What's the main teaching of Jesus? There are two important teachings of Jesus. The first one is unconditional love for God. The unconditional love for God. And the second one is true love for one's neighbor. What were the two important teachings of Jesus? Unconditional love for God and true love for one's neighbor. These were the two important teachings of Jesus. Now, what is his teachings? What he taught to the people? He taught, his main teaching is God is compassionate, loving and forgiving. What is the nature of God? The nature of God is compassionate, loving and forgiving. So this is the main teaching of Jesus to the people. And when we see we all are the handiwork of God, is it? And we are the image of God, is it? God has created us in his own image. The first man he created in his own image, is it? We are the descendant of the first man, is it? So, since we are the image of God, Jesus taught we should mold our life to bring the image of God. What we have to do? We have to mold our life to bring the image of God. So, people who see us, they should see God in our image. So we should, what we have to do? We should mold our life to bring the image of God. That was the teaching of Jesus. The next thing Jesus taught was we should love our enemies. What we have to do? We have to love our enemies as we love ourselves. We should love our enemies and we should do good to the evil. What we have to do? We have to do good to the evil. We should do good to the people, those who harm us. What we have to do? We have to do good to the people, those who do evil to us and harm us. Is it? That's why we have to do good to evil. Because that is the character of God. God is the forgiving God, is it? Since God, we have to mold our life to bring the image of God. How this image of God can be reflected in us? When we do good to evil. When we do good to the people, those who harm us. Did you understand? And when we see this one, Jesus did not believe in the word eye for an eye and tooth for tooth. Why? That is somewhat very cruel law, is it? So he did not believe the Mosaic law which talks about for eye to an eye and for tooth to the tooth. And he said we have to forgive the sinners. We should forgive the people, those who harm us. Did you understand? Here we end the class, first class, and we will see the remaining in the next class. Thank you, children.